This is Eagle Al, and today we're going to talk about AJ Brown and high spirits. Also, Justin Simmons, high praise for Vic Fangio, and Eagles' first game in Brazil. But let's get straight into it. All right, so before we get straight into the topics, Eagles made some coaching moves. Vic Fangio, shout out to him, hired another disciple. We got a new DB coach, and his name is Christian Parker, I believe. Look, Broncos, young DB coach. He's only 32 years old. He's not even that much older than me, but he's been in the league for with the Broncos for about 3 years. Don't know too much about him. You know, I had to watch the Broncos fans' reaction. And they wasn't too fond of this. They wasn't too happy about this, which is a good thing because they really didn't want him to go. But he's coming along with Vic Fangio. Vic Fangio is getting these young guys. Joe Casper, our safety coach. Now we got a new DB coach. So I like it. I mean, hey, the Broncos fans are mad about it. We should be happy about it. So shout out to him. Let's see what he got, because he got Patrick Surtain under his belt, who only developed through the years. Justin Simmons, older guy, but played very well under this guy. So we will see. We will see what he got. See if the players really like him. And, hopefully he work out. And Kellen Moore is officially a Philadelphia Eagle. The Philadelphia Eagles page announced it, that he was hired. And I know that a lot of fans were worried because the Cliff Kingsbury thing, about how he flipped on the Raiders, like, nah, I'm going to go somewhere else, because it was announced by Adam Schefter, everybody, that Cliff Kingsbury will be a Raider. But then last minute change, went to the Commanders, and he's here. Kellen Moore is here. So no need to worry. He's our offensive coordinator. We already know Vic Fangio was officially announced weeks ago, our official defensive coordinator. Let's see what these dudes got, because Nick Sirianni is just going to be the head coach CEO. He's just going to watch over everything. He's not going to put his hands in too much stuff. Maybe he'll help out with the offense a little bit, but it's really going to be Kellen Moore's offense. And again, let's see what he got. Let's see what Kellen Moore got. All right, so let's get into the topics today. AJ Brown is in great spirits. An article had came out. I believe it was written by Olivia. I seen this on Philly Mike channel. Shout out to him. And AJ Brown alluded to how basically how he liked Nick Sirianni, and the media and sometimes the fans blew it up about Nick Sirianni. Like, one of the moves I hated, but now I'm starting to realize why it happened by Nick Sirianni, me personally, is when he let go Sean Desai, or demoted him. But now that Sean Desai, the news is coming out about him, maybe Nick Sirianni had no choice, and we should ease up on him a little bit. The collapse was happening because I think this is why they doing a complete 180 with the coaching staff. They was young, and they wanted to implement some of their stuff so much that it started to bump heads with the players and even Nick Sirianni. Like, Brian Johnson is a young coach, and maybe that bumped heads with Nick Sirianni, and then Sean Desai is a young coach that bumped head with the players. So that's why we're going to experience through people that got years in this, people that was successful in this. So I I think that's what we're doing. But back to AJ Brown just being in high spirits, man. It's great to hear that he's sticking up for his head coach. And he even posted this on his IG.
Go to that next level, you don't need to do anything, but you do need to do something. Nothing needs to change but your mindset.
As you see, like Philly stuff, the kids showing his jersey, motivational stuff. AJ Brown is a positive dude. Again, I like the stuff he's saying about Nick Sirianni. Now that he said this positive stuff about Nick Sirianni, I'm not worried. Yeah, man, shout out to AJ Brown. Shout out to AJ Brown being in high spirits. Can't wait to see him play. All right, so let's get into the next topic. Eagles, man. Eagles, we play in Brazil, game 1. A lot of people didn't like this. I mean, okay, I would love the week 1 to be in Philadelphia. But if we was going to have a game outside of the country and they picked the Eagles to do it, I would rather it be week 1 than the middle of the year or the end of the year. The reason why is because you're coming off a very long vacation. You should be healthy depending on what happens in training camp and stuff. And it's a Friday game. So you go to Brazil, play Friday. Maybe you play that next week, Sunday or Monday. So off the rip, you're getting a mini bye. off the rip, you getting a mini bye. They picked us first, get that fan base in Brazil. But that's the positive of it. It's week one. So you'll have 8 home games, 8 away games instead of 9 home games and 8 away games. So it won't really affect, the meat and potatoes of the season. It's week one. Get there, do what we gotta do. I doubt it's gonna be like a big game. No offense to Brazil, but they'll want this in the States, like who we play, the Ravens. I don't think we'll play it on week one. We're not gonna play a division game unless it's probably Washington, but I highly doubt that. Um, so yeah, man, we're gonna play somebody, probably one of these meaningless games week one. And yeah, man. I like the Brazil game. I really do. I'm a fan of it. I'm a fan of it. All right, so let's talk about Justin Simmons. Justin Simmons has some high praises to say about Fangio, and this is what he had to say. All pro safety Justin Simmons on Fangio. I always loved him. He's a heck of a coach, and he's going to do a heck of a job in Philly. He added the importance of safety and linebacker play, ability to check defense based on the offense formation and communication. Vic will demand upgrades at safety and linebacker. All right, so a lot of people read that like, yo, we got to go get Justin Simmons, right? I don't think this is what I don't think. I don't think people in Philadelphia really realize how good Kevin Byard is because of last year, and he was a victim of that system. If we're going to stick with a veteran safety, depending on how the money go, you should keep Kevin Byard. Yeah, do what you got to do. Maybe you got to do the cut thing, then re-sign him or whatever, or restructure his contract. Or if Justin Simmons want less, then cool. But if you're going to keep a veteran safety on the roster, you got to go with Kevin Byard. You have to. I can't really defend what he did in Philadelphia. I can't. But the things he did at Tennessee, he tried to step in that leadership role middle of the season. Because remember, Kevin Byard was the first one to call out Sean Desai and said, like, look, we scheming up our own stuff because Sean Desai was so bad. But Vic Fangio with Kevin Byard, I believe he could get the best out of him. I believe he can. If you're going to stick with a veteran safety, because I don't want 2 veteran safeties. At some point, you got to get younger. You got to get younger, man. You don't want too many old guys. We was a victim of that too, having too many old guys on the field. Look, man, I like Justin Simmons. It all comes down to the money, but I don't want 2 veterans. If you ask me to pick one, I am going with Kevin Byard. I'm going with Kevin Byard, and he's going to show what he got under this system. Because you got to think Hassan Reddick struggled. Josh Sweat struggled. I mean, the corner struggled. So you got to give them the benefit of the doubt just a little bit. Just a little bit. As much as I love Justin Simmons, man, as much as I do, and he knows Vic Fangio's scheme, you got to stick with who you got and just add younger and younger and just keep that one veteran safety. And I think it should be Kevin Byard. Kevin Byard is one of the best safeties in coverage. He's one of the bigger safeties in the league, and he's a vet. I mean, you got Reed Blankenship that look up to him. He been around Sidney Brown who look up to him. So just draft another safety, keep Kevin Byard. That's what you got to do, man. But hey, man, what do you think and how do you feel about the news today? Look, Justin Simmons, I know a lot of you guys going to want him to come here. Kellen Moore officially the coach. How we feeling about A.J. Brown being in high spirits? I love to hear it. I like to hear the praises of Nick Sirianni. And the Wills, I'm happy for Nick Sirianni, not to go on a long tangent because I am about to wrap it up. But I'm happy for him, the way the season closed. A lot of people were against him, but now the articles and stuff leaking. Could it be because they want us on Nick Sirianni's side? I don't know. But the more the season or off season, I should say, is approaching, I'm starting to be a Nick Sirianni guy just a little bit more. Just a little bit more. But it's going to take some time, man, because that epic collapse hurt. But more and more stuff coming out about the coordinators, and maybe it wasn't him. But this is Eagle Al, man. I'm a